Good morning, second grade math students. How are you doing today? Great. Okay, we're going to get started, and we are continuing our work with word problems, also known as story problems. Okay, and today we're going to be working with one-step story problems, and it's a continuation from our last lesson. We have the same I can statement, but we're on a new lesson. All right, so for today you're going to need your whiteboard and something to erase with and something to write with to practice. And you are going to need your workbook, and we are on page 289. It looks like this. And it's a continuation from last lesson, and it has the same I can statement. And I'll go ahead and I have it written for you, and I can read it to you, and you can read along on page 289. And here we go. I can use drawings and equations to make sense of the words in problems. Okay, one more time. I can use drawings and equations to make sense of the words in problems. We are on 7-3, the lesson, and our page is 289. Okay, and for these problems you are going to be solving for unknowns, and the unknown in this cases in the cases of these one-step problems could either be at the start or it could be the change. And I'm going to write and show you what the start looks like when it's an unknown. And let's say it's a plus. And let's put 5 and then 13. And that would mean that you would have to solve for the start, and it's an unknown. Or when the change is unknown, it would look like this. And that's how the words are going to describe the problem. And that's how you would put them to align with how the words describe the problem. But you can solve them in the way that works best for you. Okay, and that's what we're going to go over today, okay? So we're going to we're going to do the solve and share together. And I'm going to read it, and you can read along. Aaron has 17 more books than Isabella. Aaron has 44 books. How many books does Isabella have? Solve any way you choose, show your work. So Aaron has 17 more books than Isabella. Aaron has 44 books. So that's Aaron's books. Okay, so Isabella has an unknown amount we don't know. Isabella has, how many books does Isabella have? And that's your unknown, because we know that Aaron has 77 more books. So you can look at this as a subtraction problem, or you can look at it as an addition problem. And you can draw a model that will help you. You can draw, you can do break apart numbers. You can draw an open number line. You can draw base 10 blocks. And you can also draw a bar diagram. Remember, that's what they're calling the tape diagram. Bar diagram. So you would draw the 17 here, and that's the 44, and you would be solving for this unknown right there. Okay, you can do a counting up from 17 until you get to 44. Okay, and then count all the steps you take to get there, or you can draw base 10 blocks. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then take away 17. So it's up to you what works best for you. Okay, let's go ahead and do the base 10 blocks model approach. So we have 44 and we're going to take away 17. Okay, so we see that you can't take away 7 from 4, so you're going to have to do a little bit of regrouping. So you're going to pull in another 10 into the ones, and now you can take away the 7. So 5 plus 2 is 7, and you take that away. Oops. And then you still have to take away your 110, so you cross off your 110. And then you count up what's left. And I have 5 plus 2 is 7, and then 10, 27. So I'm thinking Isabella has 27 books. And already I know that 7 plus 7 from my fact fluency is 14. And that means there's a 4 in the 1. So I'm pretty sure that that 1's digit is correct. Okay, and I can check by counting up using the number line. I can check by going to my hundreds grid. But I always want to double check my answer. Okay, let's go ahead and do the number line. So we're going to try and get to 44. So we're at 17 plus 10 is 27. Plus 10 is 37. Okay, and then I can't go another group of 10, but I can go 3 ones to get to 40. And then I can go 4 more to get to 44. So plus 4, plus 3, plus 10, plus 10. And then I got to add those all up. 10, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And that was the answer I got when I did the base 10 block model. Okay. So this is the solve and share on page 289. It's a one-step problem. But what makes this challenging is you're solving for that start unknown. Start unknown. Okay? And you can change it so it becomes a subtraction problem. 44 minus 17 equals my answer because you know about the fact families. And you're also thinking about your parts in total. And when you think about it this way, you can see that it could be 17 plus this would equal 44. The unknown plus 17 would equal 44. Or 44 minus 17 will equal the unknown. Or 44 minus the unknown will equal 17. So you can think in terms of the fact families. Okay, and in our tape diagram, the unknown 27, and I'll do that in red, would go right in there. Okay, and it should be a little bit bigger than the 17, about 10 bigger, right? And that would be where your unknown goes. Okay, so today you're solving your word problems. You're all going to be experts when we get done with this unit on word problems. Tomorrow's lesson is going to be 2-step word problems. And let's go ahead and read the I can statement again. I can use drawings and equations to make sense of the words in problems. Okay, think about where does the change go? What part of the equation is the change in? And then how can I change the equation and the problem basically by thinking about the fact families and the parts in the total to make it a more friendlier way for me to add? Do I want to subtract? To solve. Do I want to subtract or do I want to add to solve? Because once you set it up and you know what they're asking you to do, you can solve it how you choose. You can solve it by turning it into a subtraction problem, or you can solve it by turning it into an addition problem. All right? Well, you have a good day. I miss you all very much. It was a very long weekend without you. I'm not sure if you're watching this video on Monday or what day, but the last 2 days been lonely without making these videos, so I miss y'all very much, and I look forward to the time I will see you again in the classroom or in the hallways of Daniel Bagley. Okay, you take care. Have a good rest of your day.